Hi, so I'm Victoria Lee Jones. Oh, I need water. Give me a water bottle. This is like, yeah, I think
like immediately starts choking and dying.
Good though. I was good, but I was just like, wait, I need to sound like a man right now. But I feel like I should be like, I never know how to be in the beginning. Hi, I'm Victoria Lee Jones, and I am the founder and CEO of the Career Motivator, and I also own my own blogging business. So I'm here today to talk to you more about entrepreneurship and what it's like for me, and honestly my own personal opinion on entrepreneurship as a whole. What made me want to become an entrepreneur, honestly, I feel like I don't even know how to answer that question anymore because I've been an entrepreneur for so long. Unfortunately, I haven't had the same business like throughout all of the years, but for the past 10 years, I've always been an entrepreneur on the side outside of my regular jobs. And for me, I think it just gave me a sense of self, and it always helped me stay more in tune with myself and my passions and something that I wanted to put out there in the world. And on top of that, I was able to just like kind of be the boss of myself. I was the one that was calling the shots. I was the one that was saying, you know, when I need to get up and get something done. But not only that, it was more for me about content and what I would talk about or what I would do. So when I owned my photography business, like no one was telling me what type of pictures I should be taking. I felt like I was able to take the pictures that I wanted to take.
How do you feel about being an entrepreneur?
How do I feel about being an entrepreneur? How does anyone feel about being an entrepreneur? I don't know if you actually have time to feel. Like, I feel like I'm just go. Like, I'm always making things happen. I don't really have time to sit around and say, like, oh my gosh, how do I feel about being an entrepreneur? Like, you don't have time for that. Like, I'm so busy getting things done, making schedules, like, making things happen. I don't have time to actually think about, oh my God, I'm an entrepreneur. Like, even when people ask me for my title, I'm like, oh yeah, I am the CEO. But I don't actually have time to think about that because I'm so focused on the process and getting things done and making sure that my goal list is done, and each day I'm getting more and more done and being as productive as possible versus thinking about how cute it looks or like how cute I look doing it or how I'm able to say that I'm an entrepreneur. And I think that's the problem with a lot of people nowadays. They're so caught up in being able to say that they're an entrepreneur, and it's just more than that. It's like it takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication, and a lot of consistency. So while I'm moving through everything and getting things done, I don't have time to think about it. And I really do hate when people ask me that question of like, how does she do it? How do you do it? I'm like, how don't you do it? Like, it's like, I just do it. Like, I don't think, I just do. And when I do need to think, it's because I'm planning out the business, so I'm making sure that I'm on schedule with certain things. But other than that, I get it done. The most difficult thing for me with being an entrepreneur, I feel like I have a couple of things. I don't know if I have one. The first thing for me has always been trying to make sure that I'm giving my entrepreneurship life enough attention, like the same attention that I'm giving to my job. And I think that that's really hard because when I'm working from 9 to 5 or 10 to 6, and by the time I travel back home, I'm exhausted and I don't feel like doing anything. And I know that there are reports and things that need to be done, and there are people waiting for me to get invoices or something like that. So for me, that is a hard thing, like kind of keeping up that consistency and that motivation to do it after such a long day. I think the other difficult thing for me, I think this is because I care a lot about other people, and I don't think a lot of people are willing to admit that, but I care a lot about support from my friends and my family. And I think for me, sometimes when I'm not getting that support, it hurts for me, and I think it stumps my growth in my entrepreneurship life. Like, it stumps my business because I don't feel like I'm giving as much to it when I don't feel as supported sometimes. And that's not to say all of the time, but I do realize that sometimes that does get in between my work ethic, is just not feeling supported by the people that I love. The best thing about being an entrepreneur, honestly, I'm such a futuristic person that I'm always looking towards the future and the very end. And I remember listening to Gary Vee one time, who's a motivational speaker, and he was saying that if you want to live that 1% life, like, you have to work hard to get there. Like, it's not going to be easy. And for me, I think about that. I think about being in that bracket. I think about being in this nice home and having all the great things and living a life that I really want to live. And I know that I have to work hard to get there. So I think the best thing about entrepreneurship is knowing where you're going with it, like, while you're doing it, if that makes sense. Because maybe I may not be able to see everything right now, but just that vision of where I see my business in the future and how high it's going to take me and how many levels I'm going to move up and where I'm going to be later on, even if it is 10 years from now, that excites me, and that's the thing that gets me up every single day. There are just so many difficult moments and so many failures, and one example, I think for me, it's always been the same one. And that's me doubting myself, and I don't think a lot of people are willing to admit that, but I am. But I really do doubt myself a lot. I'll be so excited for like a month. I'll be like, this business idea is working, like, everything's moving. I'm getting a lot of people asking questions, and everyone's engaged, and everything's just great. And then, I don't know, after a month, I start wondering, I'm like, is this going to be good enough? Like, what am I going to do? Like, I just start doubting my own abilities, and I start doubting my own business to a certain extent, not completely. And I think that has always been a failure for me, because it has really, really stopped, the amount of effort and work that I could put into my business. And it also hurts when you don't feel as excited about your business, because you're so worried about things not working out. But I think that doubt has been like a really true failure for me so often in my past. And I try to look past it, and it's easier now to deal with it because it doesn't come as often. And when it does, I know how to, push it to the side. I mean, Beyonce said you only get 5 minutes. So I give myself 5 minutes, 3 minutes, but other than that, I keep trying to move forward, but it is something that can stop you. I think the one thing I want to say about entrepreneurship is it's really hard. And I know a lot of people will probably say, like, well, yeah, I heard that before, and that's cliche to say, but it's really, really hard. I don't think people understand what it's like to believe in a business idea and you implement it, and you get a limited liability company, like you have an LLC, and you have everything at your fingertips. But outside of that, it's so hard to believe in something, and you're like the only one that believes in it that much, and you're the only one that sees it that much. There's other people that see it, and there's other people that believe in you, but they don't really see what you see, and it's really hard to be that person. It's hard to keep yourself motivated in that way. And I feel like every day I get up, I have to keep motivating myself to get up, to do everything, and to push myself. It's hard, and it's just not easy. And I think that it really bothers me when I see people that claim to be entrepreneurs, or that say they want to start a business but they don't have anything, or they're not as excited about it to a certain extent. And I think that they should understand that how difficult this life is, and the reward is going to be so big, so it has to be that hard, but you have to really fight through it. And that may mean 10 years, that may mean 15 years, that may mean 20. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. And I think nowadays people are so used to getting things quickly, and they want things really fast. And entrepreneurship is not that. And if that's what you're looking for, then this may not be the life for you. I mean, despite everything with entrepreneurship, honestly, it is probably one of the best things that I have ever done. And I'm so proud of myself because I push myself. Yes, I have to push myself all the time, but it's so rewarding to know that you're able to do that for yourself. It's so rewarding to know that your own business idea, you're watching it like kind of develop right before your eyes, and you see the way, how much work that you put in, you see the way it just kind of comes together, and it feels so good. And honestly, I feel like I've become a better person because I keep seeing my business grow and like the amount of work I keep putting in. And I really do recommend entrepreneurship for people that feel like they have so many great ideas and maybe they don't feel like when they go to work they feel fulfilled. I think that it helps you feel fulfilled, and it helps you kind of have those passions that you really have and really build them out. And I mean, it's more than just something like a hobby. It's not a hobby. It's more of like a hobby built into something bigger, you know? And I think that people don't understand how exciting it is. And I just think that people should know, if you have a business idea and you have something that you want to do, then you need to go out and do it. Like, this is the time. This is the time where the resources are there. They have books, they have Google, they have Yahoo. There's so many things. There's so many different outlets out there for you to kind of go out and really help you develop on your own idea. And if you want to be an entrepreneur, then go for it. Like, what's stopping you? Like, who's to say that you can't do it? I mean, somebody told me that my business idea didn't make any sense, and I still went for it. And I think at the end of the day, you're going to hear those things. You're going to doubt yourself. And it's not really about all of those things, but it's really about the end goal. Like I was saying, it's about what you see in the future. And if you really, really believe that this is something that can work, then you should definitely go out for it. Go for it. Like, don't stop. And I think that too many times people tend to doubt themselves so much that they don't actually implement these ideas, and they regret it. 10 years later, they're like, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. And it's not worth it to regret. It's better to actually try something than to sit around and wonder what if. And I just really hope that people know that entrepreneurship may not be easy, but it's totally worth it in the end. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that the information that I said was very helpful about entrepreneurship. And I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and stay tuned for the next one.